Picture this, you're at a royal feast in the 1500s. Gold goblets, roasted meats, nobles in silk, and everyone's eating with their bare hands. Grease dripping down their wrists, bread soaking up meat juice. That's how royalty dined, until one teenage girl from Italy walked in, holding a strange little object that would change the world's dinner tables forever. It's 1533. The Renaissance is dazzling Europe. Art, science, music are flourishing. But at the dinner table, it's still the Middle Ages. Knives, spoons, and fingers. Bread doubles as a plate. Etiquette? Mostly about not stabbing your neighbor. But Catherine de Medici didn't just bring herself to France. She brought a revolution hidden in her luggage. Catherine wasn't your average bride. She was a Medici, one of the wealthiest, most influential families in Florence. At just 14, she was married off to Henry, the future king of France. And when she made the journey from Italy, she brought clothes, jewels, and a two-pronged utensil called a fork. France had never seen anyone actually eat with one, and Catherine planned to change that. But the moment she used it in public, the whispers began. At her very first royal feast, Catherine calmly picked up her fork, speared a bite, and ate without touching the food. The French nobles stared. It was delicate, elegant, and to them, deeply suspicious. Some muttered it was snobbish. Others said it was unnecessary. Why use that thing when you have perfectly good fingers? And it wasn't just nobles who had opinions. The church got involved too. Forks had a bad reputation with religious leaders. In the 11th century, a Byzantine princess was criticized for using them. Clergy claimed it insulted God's gift of hands. In Catherine's time, the same thinking lingered. To some, this Italian bride was not just strange. She was committing a small act of blasphemy. But Catherine? She was just getting started. Catherine doubled down. She had more forks made. She taught her ladies-in-waiting how to use them. She insisted her dinner guests follow suit. And little by little, the French court began to copy her. Because if the queen eats with a fork, you do too. Soon, forks weren't just a tool. They were a fashion statement. In no time, forks were crafted from silver, decorated with jewels, even given as lavish wedding gifts. To own one meant you were refined, modern, and probably had Italian friends. The dining table was no longer just a place to eat. It was a stage to show off your wealth and manners. But this trend wasn't staying in France for long. The fork began its slow march across Europe. In England, people rolled their eyes. One Englishman called forks effeminate and unnecessary. But as trade and travel expanded, resistance crumbled. By the late 1600s, even the English were on board. The fork was here to stay. And it didn't just change how people ate, it changed what they ate. With forks, food could be cut smaller, prepared more delicately. Chefs started creating dishes meant to be enjoyed one bite at a time. Table manners evolved. Dining became a refined experience, not just a chaotic free-for-all. But believe it or not, some people still refuse to join fork society. In rural Europe, finger eating stayed common well into the 1800s. Forks were seen as unnecessary city nonsense, but in the cities, they had become a non-negotiable part of polite society. If you didn't use one, you were uncivilized, plain and simple. And now, we can't imagine eating without them. Today, the fork is so ordinary, we forget it was once a curiosity. Whether you're twirling spaghetti, spearing a salad, or politely chasing that last bite across your plate, you're taking part in a 500-year-old cultural shift. started by a teenage Italian queen who refused to eat like everyone else. So maybe give a little nod to your fork tonight, because the next time you sit down to dinner, remember, forks didn't just appear on our tables. They were carried there by Catherine de Medici, the queen who made eating classy. If you enjoyed this story, there are more hidden histories waiting for you. Tap subscribe and join me on the next journey into the past.